Hello everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we are going to learn how to join some crochet squares together. If you have been working the Crazy for Cables crochet along, this is specifically geared toward that and to finishing off our blanket. So when working that crochet along, you will have worked a total of 20 beautiful cabled Afghan squares. A couple of them you can see here. We're now going to join them together. Now I joined my squares together in a grid that was 4 squares across the bottom by 5 squares along the edges, the sides. So I'm going to start by joining my first 2 squares. You can lay them in whatever order you would like, and I'm just going to show you an easy way to join that, and one of my favorite ways to join when I am working crochet blanket squares together. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and to follow along. This channel is updated every single week. You'll also find all the details for the Crazy for Cables crochet along linked down in the description of this video. Today for the tutorial, you're going to need your blanket squares with your nice finished edging, and as well you're going to need a 5mm or an H8 crochet hook, and then some yarn. Lost mine there we go. I'm going to continue working in the Pound of Love worsted weight yarn 100% acrylic by Lion brand, and I'm going to use my color A, which was my green color, to join all of my squares together today. So let's grab our hooks and yarn and squares and get started. Now to begin, you're going to start by laying your squares out in the way and the direction that you would like to have them placed. Today I will be working, now I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be working the horizontal rows, the rows that go along through the blanket from side to side, and I'm going to start over on the right-hand side. Again, I'm right-handed, so you're going to start by placing your first square and your second square alongside one another. You want the right side facing up. You're then going to find your corner stitches, and to join my yarn, I work under both loops of this corner square. Again, I'm on the right hand side. Make sure you're working into your very corner stitches on both thicknesses. You're going to insert your hook through the first side for the first blanket square, and then through your second blanket square under both loops, and join your yarn. I'm just joining with a slip stitch. You're then going to work in the back loop only through both thicknesses, and we're essentially just going to work single crochet stitches all the way across. So insert your hook through the back loop only of that first square, through the back loop only of the stitch on the next square, and work a single crochet. You want to work in these back loops only. Your single crochet is going to be on the top, the front side of your blanket, and it's going to look like it's just kind of inset a little bit in the seam. So once again, through the back loop only of the next stitch on the first blanket square, the back loop only of the next stitch on the opposite blanket square, and single crochet. You're going to continue this all the way across, joining your square together. Now, as you're working, it's important that you make sure that you don't skip any stitches, don't work twice in any stitches. You want these stitches to be even all the way across, and you don't want any gaps or any bunching. All the way across, your blanket square. When you come to the other corner in your square, you're going to join the next two squares in your row. You're simply going to jump across once again, find that corner stitch, insert your hook. If you want, you can go back again, and in these corner stitches, if you want them a little bit stronger, you can work under both loops for those corners. Then across on the opposite side, again, I'm going to work under both loops into those corners. Insert your hook through both corner stitches, and you're going to work a single crochet, especially when you're working these first few squares together. I'm just going to make sure that I do have that corner stitch there. I don't think I do. Let me go back here. What's going on with that corner? There we go. You're just going to pull tight. You don't want there to be too much of a gap between the two squares. So just pull it tight, and then you're going to continue working all the way across, once again working single crochet stitches into the back loops only of each piece. I love using this edging when I'm working squares in multiple colors. I find it really makes the colors pop as it gives this bold line of color down the center of or in between the rows. And it also, I find, really sets off the texture when you have very textured squares, as we're working with right here. So you can see that's the one edging. So you're going to go ahead, continue joining your squares until you have all of your blanket squares joined together. Once you come to the end of this row, you just fasten off, weave in your ends, and then continue on working the join of all the other rows. I'm going to work on my horizontal rows, and then go ahead and work your vertical rows. At that time, you'll be ready to finish off your Crazy for Cables blanket, so you can head on over to the next video where I show you how to work the simple edging around your blanket to finish it off. So thank you so much for joining me. Once again, don't forget to subscribe. The link for all the information about joining and your edging is down in the description of this video. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Until then, happy crocheting. Bye.